guys, Jenna here, and welcome back to my channel. So this year I've decided not only to cover tiny houses, but also unique vacation rentals, alternative methods of architecture, such as the dome home I covered a couple weeks ago, and renovated trailers. So this week's video is personal for me because it happens to be of my friend Danielle. I met Danielle a couple years ago when we were both single ladies living tiny on a mountain in Oregon. She was living in a renovated Airstream and I was living in this tiny house. Flash forward a few years, Danielle is now married and living in a gorgeous renovated Airstream that she converted with her husband. I just love to see the creative things that people do with tiny spaces.
Make this house our tiny home.
Hello, my name is Hy, and this is my wife Danielle, and we're in our Airstream, the Cozy Roller.
We're newly married, and for the
That's
longest...
why we're still sitting so close.
That's why we're sitting so close, yeah. We have been living in the Cozy Roller for a month now, so we're just getting used to it. I was introduced to Airstreams like 2.5 years ago. I actually ended up purchasing one from my grandparents and lived in that Airstream on Mount Hood for about 6 months. So he would come over and visit me, and we would take the Airstream to the coast, and that just ended up being a sweet little tradition that we would do. It didn't take twisting his arm to buy our next Airstream, especially when this one was on Craigslist. We were like, we have to get that. Living in such small, close quarters has been actually really sweet for us. There is challenge, but it doesn't feel like any challenge that we wouldn't face living in a bigger home. We've just been able to take away all of the responsibilities. I love living small with you.
Yeah. We don't have the space to go in the other room.
Yeah.
So we tend to talk about things pretty regularly.
Yeah, just face it as it happens.
Sure.
This is as far away as you can be.
Yeah. We love Airstreams just because they're so timeless, I think, and they just make people happy. We've been able to create our dream home. Every corner matters, it has purpose. It just inspires my creativity every day.
So here we are on the outside of the Cozy Roller. So the Cozy Roller is a 1959 Airstream Overlander. We picked this up out of Helena, Montana for about $5,500. This thing was pretty original and in great shape, but we did have to do some work on it to get everything working right. Like the little doorknob was broken off, so I had to do some work here. And this is a really nice feature in the summertime. We can open this up and have a little screen door. The folks we bought it from had been in the family for ever, I guess, and they had recently pulled it out of the field, got it up on the highway, changed out the tires that needed changed, and got it ready to roll. So when we picked it up, it was ready. So a big part of what makes this Airstream work for us right now is having this space we're in outdoors and having a carport over here that's got a workbench and a workbench in the shop down over here. I mean, we have just a great spot.
We have a small home goods business, and that began basically just for me carving some spoons for fun. Hy's incredible with working with wood. Wood Intimations has just been this way for us to bring our passion for outdoors, crafting, making, poetry, everything that brings us joy, basically put it into one.
Well, we're having a great time here in Boring, Oregon, making all kinds of boring jokes, I know. But we really did luck into a great space on some acreage, tucked in the cedar trees, where we feel like we have a sense of privacy and can expand our experience outside.
Welcome to the Cozy Roller. inside of our trailer. We'll start with the kitchen. We tried to salvage as much as humanly possible when we did our renovation. So this is all original. We have the original little oven, really creaky. We weren't sure how this oven was gonna work with it being a 59 Airstream, but it works perfectly. Stovetop. This is salvage metal that we found in the woods. You can see this is the salvage metal, and we're able to use it as a magnet board as well. And this is a double sink. This is the original. We just rebuilt the entire countertop, but everything else is original. This was made too. We made this cutting board and a little slide out. This is all different wood. So there's like some walnut, some cherry, some maple. That's like one of our favorite things about this project is that almost everything in here was completely salvaged. This might be my favorite part of the whole trailer. This is the original fan, and it works. Here's our little refrigerator. This is not original, but this is. So this was actually a closet that we cut in half that was over here. So we were able to still use that piece, and then we got these salvaged little tiles. And we are actually going to be putting a wood stove up here. We just haven't found one yet. Stovepipe will go right out the top. We'll do a little mini wood box somewhere over here. And this is our little pantry area. We do all of our dry foods up here, and then this little topper right here. And then it kind of bleeds into some clothing and art supplies and towels at the very end. Hy built this. We just cut all the pieces. I helped with cutting, but this is all free material that was going to be burnt like the next day. So this was a fun project. Coming back here, this is the bedroom. This is a slat bed that we built, and we actually have a futon mattress on top. I'll show you here. Slats are right there. We can actually lift the bed up to put storage underneath in both the back and the front. We can put our skis in there, we can put our ski boots, our sleeping bags. We're able to store a ton under this bed. And then up here, that is literally all of our clothing aside from our jackets. So everything over here, all Hy's clothing, all mine. And this is our cozy little light, reading light. This is a fun piece though. This was just a door that we had left out on our property that was going to be used for the building of our house. I saw it one day leaning up against a tree, and I'm like, why don't we use that for the back wall? Because it actually gives us more light in the space. It allows the light from this rear window to shine through. But we did do a little curtain just for the little bit of privacy that you will get in our tiny little bath. If you're going to be staying in this type of space, you definitely have to be very comfortable with your partner or your friend, because close quarters, like the toilet's like a foot from me and there's no door. So that's what's going on. Here's the bathroom. So this is like a little oil pan that we bought new and just drilled a hole right through the center. This is the original. We did use this live edge slab of wood. We cleaned that up as a little bench. And then we just have bathroom storage and gym stuff because we do all our showering at the gym up the street. And here's a little closet. This just holds our backpacks, bags, and our coats. That's an original porcelain toilet, and it has this adorable little push pedal, and it flushes. And this is the original too. We just sanded this and sealed it, and we have these little storage cubbies. All right, and we'll take the long trek back to the living room, dining room space. These are original lights. These are all original too.
So one consideration for creating this space is I have two stepchildren, Hy's kids. Kayana, she's 11, Kyron, he's 8.
The kids are with us during the summer, and then they come out here spring break. They're here for little shorter periods of time. The main reason for this design was my stepdaughter was like, I don't want to sleep in the same bed as my brother. And we're like, okay, well, we can make that work. So when it comes out into the cots, they're literally an inch from each other, but it still makes it feel like it's their own
sleeping space. This is our table that we made. Actually, Hy mostly made it. It's made out of a cherry slab that we got in Portland. It's one of the only pieces of wood that we actually purchased. And it's really versatile because we can actually unhook the table. So it's either 2 side tables, which is what we usually do for safe travel, or we can just pull it out and have it be more of an official dining room table. It splits right down the middle. So we'll take that apart and show you how that goes. So if you look down here, there are these little levers, and then these will slip right behind. So it's like an armrest. There we go. This is Moose. My best friend bought this for me. Hy's like, why do we have this ugly little thing? And I'm like, it just reminds me of my best friend. So yeah, that's why we have Moose. He's with us wherever we go. And we did end up reflooring the space. As structurally sound as it was, it did need new flooring. So we ended up going with this laminate because it's super lightweight. It's worked out really well. And you can't tell how dirty it actually is in here right now.
Which is important when you have a dog.
Yes, it is a massive dog.
What is it like being in here with the dog?
Sometimes a little awkward. He's really funny though, because he's part chocolate lab, part Great Dane, and he like tries to shrink. Like he'll be in here and you can tell he's like, I'm too big for this space. So we do spend a lot of time outside with him. Luckily we're on property and he can run free. I feel like Hy and I are both just really inspired by natural elements and tried to bring as much of that feeling into our trailer. So that's why, I mean, just all of the wooden elements, it's just really important to us to bring as much natural feel to a living space as possible. We want it to feel like you're outside, but you're also just very cozy.
This whole space just feels very intentional.
That word intentional was on my mind too, thinking about ways to sum up the experience here, and presence, which is important to everything we do.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching as always. Make sure to subscribe, share, and ring the bell so you get notifications. I'll see you in a couple weeks with a new video of either tiny house, alternative lifestyle, or travel.